Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, staying in their lane, City Council rejects a proposal to pause bike path construction. Oilers options, the GM discusses contracts, goalies, and injuries during the first day of training camp. And a leafy lesson, learning about the dozens of rare tree species across the U of A campus.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
During its final meeting of the term, City Council rejected an effort to pause bike lane construction. That pause would have allowed for more consultation with Edmontonians over the winter. CTV's Jeremy Thompson has more on why the suggestion was shot down.
Bike lanes are being built all over the city, including in the central neighborhood of Delton. Some people in the area don't want them. They created a petition and even caught the attention of Transportation Minister Devin Dreeshen, asking him to intervene in the city's plans.
These things are catching them by surprise. These are not necessarily the things that they want.
That's what motivated councillor and mayoral candidate Tim Cartmell to call for a pause on any new bike lane construction on city streets.
It's the last chance to say, okay, we hear you. We're going to stop. The stop isn't going to cause a lot of damage. We'll take a look and hear from you before we proceed again.
Along with the Delton lanes, which city staff say are three-quarters complete, the pause would likely also impact work on 132nd Ave. Councillor Karen Principe has repeatedly raised concerns about that four-year bike lane project. She's running for re-election in Cartmell's Better Edmonton party.
I wish we weren't here. I wish that this had come about earlier. But I'm glad it is here now. Thank you, Councillor Cartmell.
City staff say they'd have to analyze which projects could be paused and the consequences for doing so.
We would be looking at monetary implications, cost delays with the contractor. There could be some increased costs to finish the work in the following year.
Some councillors grappled with what constitutes proper consultation.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of sober second thought on all plans. Where you draw the line on that, I don't know.
It's very easy to listen to the loudest voices or the unhappy voices and say that they weren't listened to. They were listened to.
The mayor says he's proud to build bike lanes that offer safe transportation options to Edmontonians.
More and more people using those bike lanes enact more transportation. And as we build more people will use them.
In the end, Cartmell couldn't convince enough of his colleagues to support the bike lane pause. He'll instead take his pitch to Edmontonians on the campaign trail. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Two former Edmonton School Board trustees say this year's election race is competitive and is worth paying attention to. Former School Board trustee Tricia Estabrook says the stakes are high with several competitive races in wards throughout the city. City Councillor Michael Jans is also a former School Board trustee. He says the best way to find out more about the candidates in your riding is to reach out to them.
The decisions that we made at the school board are not just billion-dollar budget decisions. They're also pivotal conversations about what do we want our community to look like? What do we want our schools to look like?
These is our future generation of Albertans who will staff our hospitals, work in our schools, take care of us when we get older.
Estabrook and Jan say everyone can vote for school board trustees in the general election and not just voters with kids. Alberta's Privacy Commissioner has questions about the province's push to add citizenship details to your driver's license. Earlier this week, Premier Danielle Smith said mandatory citizenship markers will be placed on IDs in late 2026. Today, the Information and Privacy Commissioner of Alberta questioned that change. She says her office was not informed or consulted ahead of time, and it's unclear what the benefit for Albertans would be. Smith says it's been successful in other areas of the country.
Well, Manitoba has had citizenship on its licenses in the past, as has Ontario. So I think we can manage through it. There's 67 countries in the world that have citizenship on their government issue ID, and part of the reason for that is to make sure that the people who are accessing social programs are entitled to access those social programs.
The Privacy Commissioner says her office will further assess the changes once it sees the proposed legislation. And Smith is directing her jobs minister to use all legal means possible to give Alberta more control over immigration. In a new mandate letter to Joseph Scow, Smith says Alberta needs more control over immigration to ensure the province sees sustainable levels of newcomers. The letter says Canadian citizens should have first access to jobs and young people should be prioritized over temporary foreign workers. This comes as the Alberta Next panel travels the province, hearing ways the province can wrestle power from Ottawa. The panel is holding its next meeting tonight in Grand Prairie. In 2 weeks, Albertans eligible for free COVID-19 vaccines will be able to receive one. Appointment bookings open Monday, September 29th for appointments starting the following day. Low-income seniors, people who are immunocompromised, have underlying medical conditions, live in continuing care, or are homeless are eligible for the free shot. Healthcare workers are also included after the government reversed its initial policy. Everyone else will have to pay $100 if they want the vaccine, and that has many people on the fence. One doctor says if you don't qualify for a free shot in Alberta but are recommended to get one by the National Advisory Committee of Immunization, you should try your best to get one.
Most notably that the vaccine doesn't appear to be being offered for free to all Albertans 65 and over, only those who are in long-term care qualify for the seniors benefit, which, you know, we know age is probably the biggest risk factor for severe disease.
The province has left out other groups that are included in national recommendations. That includes people in or from First Nation communities and members of racialized communities. Anyone wanting to be vaccinated is asked to register for one by the end of the month. The province says more than 174,000 vaccine doses have been ordered so far. Edmonton Oilers general manager Stan Bowman has indicated he's not looking at signing Sherwood Park native Carter Hart at this time. The Philadelphia Flyers confirm the goaltender will not return to the team following his high-profile sexual assault trial. The Flyers say Hart is looking for a fresh start after being away from the team for 18 months. Earlier this month, the NHL said it was reinstating Hart along with Alex Formenton, Michael McLeod, Dylan Dubé, and Cal Foote. The 5 former World Junior hockey players were acquitted of sexual assault. The 5 players are eligible to sign NHL contracts starting October 15th and can play games starting December 1st. Bowman was asked about the possibility of signing goaltender Carter Hart.
Right now, we're not looking at those types of situations. I really like I referenced earlier to Mark, I like where Stu's at with his the way he trained and his outlook coming into the year. So I think we're going to go forward with that.
Bowman was also asked about forward Zach Hyman today. The 33-year-old was injured during the playoffs and had surgery during the offseason. Bowman and Hyman say his recovery is going well and he is skating, just not with the team at this time. There's no timeline for his return. Bowman says he continues to have conversations with captain Connor McDavid regarding his new contract. He says McDavid's main focus is winning, not his salary.
I trust what Connor says. I mean, really, at the end of the day, you know, when Connor says there's nothing that he wants more is to win in Edmonton, I believe him. I don't know why anyone else wouldn't. Like, he's been consistent in saying that, and I love hearing it when he says that's his singular focus is to win in Edmonton.
The Oilers open training camp today with medical and fitness testing. Their preseason schedule begins Sunday with split squad games against the Calgary Flames. The newest winners of the Amazing Race Canada have been crowned after more than 2 months of challenges. It's the 3rd year in a row the top competitors have had ties to Alberta. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti has more.
Oh no, this is too good to be true. That's the moment Jesse Herring and Jonathan Braun crossed the finish line to win the Amazing Race Canada Season 11.
It felt so surreal. Like, we were in the finale against some tough competition, and to come away on top was just so cool.
Herring hails from Sherwood Park, and Braun is from Woodlawn, Ontario. The season started off in Edmonton, where last season's winners were crowned.
All right, everyone, good luck.
It was such a great advantage in that first leg because we had to be driving around, and to know how to get onto the Anthony Henday and get around Edmonton was a really key point.
Edmonton viewers may have recognized these familiar faces in the race.
I'm known known as Superfan Magoo of the Edmonton Oilers. I'm the guy who pumps up the team and the fans.
Heading into the final episode, Blair and Skylene, also known as Superfan Magoo and Nippy, were in first place. They ended up in fourth.
Yeah, I had all sorts of different emotions. I was mad, I was sad, I was heartbroken.
Even though we didn't win first, to us, we were still champions.
The teams crossed 24 cities in 5 provinces and 1 territory, but participating in Edmonton was special.
As we were rappelling down, he was rappelling down and there was like fans standing to the side and they were yelling, Magoo!
The winners, who now live in BC, took home 2 brand new cars, a trip around the world, and a $250,000 cash prize.
It's not buying us a house, maybe a nice cardboard box somewhere, but it is definitely just giving that ability to kind of take a breath and figure out what's next.
Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
The city may have to consider bringing back the City of Champions signs, Josh, if people from Edmonton continue to do so well in the Amazing Race.
Hey, listen, anybody from Sherwood Park is saying, no, that's Sherwood Park. Okay, that's not that.
No, let's not get them mixed up.
Edmonton. Temperatures in Sherwood Park are a little bit cooler than they are in Edmonton. We're at 27 degrees downtown. It's 26 at Sherwood Park, 25 at Elk Island, 26, 27-degree temperatures as well off to the west and south of the city. It is a little breezy. Wind at about 20 to 30 kilometers per hour, and that's been the case for most of this afternoon. We actually have slipped a degree since last hour. We got to 20, well, you can update this to 28 degrees for a daytime high today, which, there you see it on the map, which continues this remarkable string of above average days. Only one day so far this entire month has not been above average, and it was at average and 19 degrees. The average daytime high here through these first 17 days historically is in the 18, 19 degree range. This year, 26 degrees for an average high through these first 2 weeks plus. It's actually even warmer than the first 17 days last year, although just barely. Last year, we had 5 30-degree days in the start of September. It is eventually going to cool off, just not in the short term. There's your big upper ridge. You can see the back edge of it now starting to develop off to the west in through BC. I think that could bring some showers tonight to western and northwestern parts of the province. For us, we'll stay clear overnight tonight. 11 degrees tomorrow morning and about 24 or 25 for a daytime high tomorrow. So a couple of degrees cooler than today, and then a slight chance of a spotty shower late tomorrow night. We'll take a closer look at that in the rest of your 5 and 10 day forecast in just a few minutes.
Mother Nature's been the real champion around here lately. Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, industry optimism. Canadian canola farmers hoping a resolution can be reached to avoid Chinese tariffs.
It's not something that we can replace overnight.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
The University of Alberta says if you're not paying attention to the trees on its campus, you're missing out. The school is home to dozens of different species, including some you may think couldn't survive here. As CTV's Nara Manisa reports, the U of A is branching out by offering tree tours.
I'm Stacy Bergheim, and I am a tree nerd.
Stacy Bergheim is an expert in trees. She works at the Forest Genetics Lab at the University of Alberta.
So this is the ginkgo biloba tree. It's native to China. It's considered to be a living fossil because it actually has not changed that much in the last 29 million years.
The university is home to 50 species of trees, both native and from around the world.
It is native to the Middle East and Russia. It's a Russian olive. It's got this beautiful gray, green foliage.
This is Alberta's provincial tree, the lodgepole pine.
It's a pretty important economic tree for Alberta's forestry.
And Canada's national tree, the sugar maple.
This is the tree that gets tapped to get maple syrup from.
The trees are also part of the curriculum for forestry students who use them to learn how to identify different kinds.
Then the students can learn about trees that are maybe not native to Alberta's forests. Maybe they're from Eastern Canada or elsewhere in the world, but we now have exposure for our students to those trees.
I do notice the trees, yeah. I'm a forester, so I really like American elm, these ones right here.
The university is hosting guided tours this weekend. Bergheim says she hopes this gets students and staff to not take the trees for granted.
When you're walking through campus, if you're not looking up, you're probably not seeing each tree. You feel how those trees make you feel better and they look beautiful, but they're not maybe identifying and looking at a specific tree and saying, oh, that particular tree is beautiful.
The tours are free and open to the public. Naramisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Leaders in the Canadian canola industry say they're feeling optimistic after a meeting with the Prime Minister. Saskatchewan's Premier updated the group yesterday on Chinese tariffs on canola after a trip to China. The chair of the Alberta Canola Producers Commission was there. He says Canadian officials continue to be engaged with the Chinese to work towards a solution. He adds the international trade relationship is complicated and they need market access to one of the world's largest importers.
It's not something that we can replace overnight. That's one of the things we did talk to the Prime Minister about. You know, there's short-term and long-term implications. And one of the longer, or say medium-term, is basically we really need to look at renewable fuels in Canada. That way our product stays here and it can be used here.
Industry leaders hope a resolution is reached by the end of the year. Still to come tonight on CTV News, a new yet traditional look. ETS wraps a bus with Indigenous artwork.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
This inspired bus will soon be seen on the streets of Edmonton. Edmonton Transit partnered with the Edmonton Aboriginal Seniors Centre to create the design. It features bright colors and images of sweetgrass and teepees. The art was inspired by stories and experiences Indigenous seniors and elders have shared with the city.
Having the bus out there is a way for us to let all community know that we're a senior centre that honors and respects all traditions.
Edmonton Transit says it hopes people are inspired to learn more about Indigenous history. It says the bus is a visible reflection of reconciliation in action in Edmonton. That's a good-looking bus. You're not going to miss that one, Josh.
No. Very bright.
Very bright.
I'm all about throwing murals on top of it.
Anything to beautify the city. It's awesome. Weather's looking pretty beautiful out there today, too.
The words right out of my mouth. Take a look outside right now. Action Furnace, River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace fixed rider. It's free. It's 27 degrees after hitting 28 for a daytime high. Blue skies again over the city, and we got up to 26 yesterday, 28 today, back to about 24, 25 tomorrow. So a slight cool down for tomorrow before it heats up again Saturday. 24 in Fort McMurray right now. You got some low 20s here, Cold Lake, Lloydminster. Look at Jasper's up to 29 degrees this afternoon. It's warmer in Jasper than it is across southern Alberta, 27 as well into Peace River. Clear skies with this big upper ridge. There's the back edge of it. So this eventually is going to come through and bring in a little bit of a cool down, especially as we hit Sunday, Monday. It'll be a gradual cool down for the next couple of days back into that 24, 25 degree range. And maybe a few showers for us tomorrow night. Not so much tonight. Tonight, there's a risk for northwestern Alberta to get grazed with some showers, but this is the cold front that will develop late in the day tomorrow. You get some clouds, maybe some showers in western Alberta tomorrow afternoon, and you can see tomorrow night. It's not anything all that widespread or that heavy, but there will probably be at least a few scattered showers around Edmonton and areas off to the south into Friday morning. By Friday afternoon, though, skies are clearing once again, and we're back to sunshine and some heat for Saturday. 11 degrees in Edmonton tomorrow morning. Similar temperatures in the north. Fort McMurray at 11, 10 in Grand Prairie. A little cooler in Red Deer at 7 degrees tomorrow morning. You get into the low to mid-20s across northeastern Alberta with some sunshine. Highs about 20, 22 across the northwest. A little cooler there in Whitecourt and Edson with some increasing late-day cloud. You can see Jasper, looking at that chance of showers, drops from 29 today to 19 for a high tomorrow. 23 or 24 for Red Deer, Lloydminster, Coronation with some sunshine. And here in the city, that will be around 20 degrees at 9 p.m. That is warmer at 9 o'clock tonight than the average high for this time of year. Wind as well will start to die down through this evening. We'll drop to about 11 degrees in the city, maybe a bit cooler outside the city. Close to 20 by lunchtime and up to about 24 for a daytime high with light wind tomorrow afternoon. There's your slight chance of a shower late tomorrow night into the overnight period. It doesn't really look like it's going to amount to all that much, but there is a chance nonetheless. Then some clearing through the day Friday. Again, will be about 24, 25, 28 and sunshine Saturday. And then Sunday, slight chance of a scattered shower. We're back to highs near 20 for Sunday, Monday. Somewhere around 20 or into the low 20s through the middle of next week. Finally, the end of next week. It looks pretty consistent that temperatures will drop back into the mid to upper teens, which would put us back to around average. But man, in the short term, it is a continuation of what we've seen all month so far. More above average days right into the weekend.
All right, Josh, thank you. A Red Deer Wildland firefighting company is expanding to the United States. Fire and Flood trains firefighters to help when wildfires are out of control and has designed its own portable above-ground hydrant system for fighting the fires. The company began in 2016 and has expanded within Western Canada. This new expansion is the first time outside of the country and in the United States. When we return, a dragonfly fossil, why its discovery is so significant in Alberta.
Which, you know, I like to say it's a nice raptor snack.
CTV News at 5 continues.
Wednesday on your morning, the winners of Amazing Race Canada on how it feels and what's next.
Take a nap. Holy crap, it's been a really busy period.
Thursday, iconic music videos of the past and favorites picked by you.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Coming up on CTV News at 6, police in Alberta dismantle a cross-border drug trafficking network. And in its final days, Edmonton City Council debates a proposed development in Riverdale that could eliminate some affordable housing. Those stories and more on CTV News at 6 with Jeff Hastings. A dragonfly fossil discovered in Dinosaur Provincial Park east of Calgary is the first of its kind to be found in Canada. A team of researchers from McGill University made the discovery in 2023. They were looking for fossilized plant life when a member split a rock and found the impression of a dragonfly wing. That was the first step in a long process to pinpoint the find. This dragonfly is a newly discovered species and includes incredible detail.
And it really only would have been about yay big, about the width of the palm of your hand for a full wingspan. So not the biggest fella, so not like the big giant dragonflies that existed back in the day, but, you know, a healthy sized dragonfly, which, you know, I like to say it's a nice raptor snack.
The dragonfly fossil is currently at McGill University. Mueller says it will likely make its way back to Alberta and be put on display here. And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.